Dack, you like punching dudes?
Oh yeah, I love punching dudes. That's a really normal question to ask.
I know you like punching the women, but...
Wow. So we're 10 seconds in and you've already accused me of, I don't even know what to call that. I don't want to sound sexist. But yeah, no, I do not like punching women, to answer your question.
That wasn't a question. The question
It was a statement. It was an assertment, but a false one. A very
okay. Well, we're looking at UFC Undisputed 3 for the Xbox 360, and also available for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah. You know which one can sell more?
PC?
Yeah, PC. Yeah, this game's also known as UFC Undisputed 2012, but because they skipped 2011, I guess they had abandoned the whole year as title concept.
That's better, I think. You don't want to be a Madden style. Just keep adding the year to the end of your title, right?
Yeah, it is better because I mean, UFC is a sport. MMA is a sport, but it's not like a league sport. So there's not like really seasons. So it's kind of irrelevant to have a year behind it. So I think it's a nice change.
Yeah. Well, how much do you know of UFC or MMA altogether, Dack?
Oh, I know quite a lot. I've watched 4 events.
A whole 4?
But I've watched like 18 Strikeforce events.
Oh, that makes up for it, right?
That makes up for it, and also some what do you call it? How do you say it? WEC or do you say WEC?
WEC.
WEC. I like WEC too.
Okay, you can use WEC if you want.
All right. And oops for UFC. Oops. 3 is what I'm gonna start calling it.
You can call it that if you want, but
yeah.
So I like to consider myself an
expert.
Big UFC. Yeah, okay, expert. No, not really expert, but enthusiast.
Oh, he's set himself short. He scores fights. He's one of the guys down there.
Yeah, I'm one of the judges. I'm Cecil Peoples. Everyone hates me.
Cecil Peoples. Yeah. With a name like that, I'm not surprised.
Yep. So I haven't missed a UFC fight since 2006. That's how crazy I am for the sport.
That's pretty impressive too, because that's before it was the big fad. So you must have just been a big fan.
Yeah, well, I was starting off in 2004, 2005. And I really got sucked in and just kept watching. It cost a lot. Took a big chunk out of my pocket, but
yeah, it's not a cheap hobby.
Oh no.
If you pay-per-view them anyway.
Oh yeah, it's like 2 fights a month most of the time, and they're like $50 each minimum, unless you go to a bar. But otherwise, they're expensive.
All right, well let's go ahead and get into the game.
Yeah, sure. So we're just gonna show up one of the big things they added into this is the new Pride mode.
Yeah.
Which is just basically the UFC's acquired Pride division.
Minor league kind of a thing, right? Farm league, basically.
Pride's extinct now, or it's no longer functioning. So it's just they just basically took all the their pick of the fighters and whatever all the previous recordings they can re-air. And you got all these really familiar faces like Shogun's brother, Nakamura, Belfort, Sokoju,
Chuck, Iceman, Liddell.
Yeah, he barely fought. I'm not 100% sure. I think the only time he fought in Pride was against Jackson, which he lost. But I'm not 100% sure on that.
What's the point of even having a Pride mode? Is it any different than the UFC mode?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's different rule sets. So let me just pick someone here and just show you off. I haven't seen Randleman fight in a long time, so I'll pick him against one of my favorites, Axe Murderer.
What?
Vanderlei Silva, the Axe Murderer.
Is that his nickname?
Yep.
That's an awesome nickname.
That's an awesome nickname.
That's one of the best.
Yeah.
Why does he need to be an axe murderer? Like, why does he just be the murderer? Where did the axe come from?
I don't know. He just pulls it out of his trousers. I don't know.
What is this, like Clay Fighters now?
Yeah. So one of the best things about Pride mode is the crazy announcer who announces everything in English with a really loud voice. It's just the way she rolls her R's and just everything. It's so true to Pride.
It's what, like the low budgetness of Pride?
Man, they were so big.
The lackluster-ness.
I loved Pride in its day.
This is how the intros to Pride went, isn't it? With them walking out of the like the giant television things with fire and lights going off.
Yep.
So it's a little more eventful than UFC. But UFC, I think the reason they don't do this is, to be a little more serious. They want this to be like, like a wrestling match.
Well, the best thing about Pride is I don't think they do it here. I'm pretty sure they don't do it here, but one of the rules in Pride was similar to K1 that if there's not a lot of action, they take away money from your purse.
Wow. That's pretty messed up.
I know. Well, it encourages them not just to lay on them like a lot of fights in the UFC or Strikeforce have been prone to.
I gotta stop you for a second. Does he really have a giant Ohio State tattoo on his pet? Is that real?
Are you sure?
That's terrible. Why would you get a tattoo of a college logo on you?
So you can taunt, you can put your arms in.
I'm a college grad, bitch. I don't need to be here. I have a degree in economics. Oh.
So, one of the new things you can do, I'll show you in a second, if I can, into the good permission. Oh man, okay, so from here you can actually land knees to the head while on the ground, which you cannot do in UFC.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
You can do soccer kicks. You can. If you watch Pride, they have some of the most deadly knockouts you'll ever see. Like some of the kicks, some of the up kicks, some of the knees, especially from Vanderlei. Vanderlei has a highlight reel of Pride knockouts.
So Pride is a little more bloodthirsty than UFC is.
Oh yeah. It is almost anything goes. I don't think there's any eye gouging or biting or.
I'd hope there's not any eye gouging. Your career would be over pretty fast.
So, like previous games, you can fake punches. But that's mainly good for online play to throw off your opponent. Otherwise, the AI, I don't know. It's not. I haven't found it that. Impressive. I mean, it'll start blocking. It'll start catching on if you just throw punches to the head. I'll get worked here.
Oh yeah.
But
those are solid shots.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It looks fantastic. These graphics are really something else. They really have improved over 2010.
And he goes down. Looks to me like he recovered. Wow.
Oh, I think you got him.
No. So you could, one of the new things, or not really new things, but if you rock a guy, it doesn't mean game over for them. Like you can still get out of it, like this. And you just put up your go.
I really like the camera angles they've used too. It gives you a nice view, and it kind of feels like you're watching on TV.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's another obvious Pride difference right there, is that the ring is rectangular, not octagon.
Yeah, it's more of a boxing ring style.
Not a cage.
Kickboxing, yeah. The UFC is the one that started the cage.
Cage fighting?
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah, cage fighting, but they, I guess, popularized it, yeah. So, that's pretty much Pride mode, I guess.
That's pretty sweet.
A nice breakdown of everything.
Wow, you went, was that 99% to the head, is it trying to say?
I think that's the amount of damage that he took, so pretty much 100%, which is why I knocked him out.
Wow.
Pride. Yeah, Pride modes, I love Pride in days, so it's a great new addition to this, and especially with the long roster. So
I think just the fact that they added a Pride mode shows that they're devoted to the hardcore MMA fan. Because your average person picking this up would not probably even bother with that.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they put Strikeforce in the next UFC game, only because they own that license too. Although I'm pretty sure that probably go defunct soon, anyways.
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
we know that they're just going to dissolve the import assets, aka the fighters, into UFC, and then just shut it
Oh
down.
yeah. Well, yeah, they're starting to already with Nick Diaz and
That's right, Diaz.
Gilbert Melendez wants to come over. I'm pretty sure he probably will fight for the title. It's just a matter of time. They already got Overeem. This is the new. I don't know if it's new actually. The new title mode. You go through, I think it's 3 fights, and you go straight for the title, and then I'm pretty sure it unlocks a title defense mode, which is yes,
Bob
Sapp.
Sapp. All right. What, 265 pounds of him?
Oh man, he's like over 300 right now.
Jeez.
It's not even allowed in the UFC.
Allowed in. Do you think they nailed the muscle definition pretty well of the fighters? Is it pretty accurate to real life?
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of fighters you can almost see it as like looks like they just scanned in. Some just looks default, but yeah, you got Mark Hunt here as a little bit of a gut.
A little bit of a gut.
That's about right.
Hey, Crow Cop, he's my favorite.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he kind of retired. I think he's going back to kickboxing.
He got kind of hurt last time, didn't he? Like something with his eye, or?
No, that was against Dos Santos.
That's right.
Fights ago, but
that was a few fights ago.
Yeah. I know I downloaded Overeem, but I don't see him here. That's one of my other great fighters I just love.
Do you prefer to fight in the heavyweight?
It doesn't really matter. Light heavyweight's alright. Middleweight's good. The lower weights, the new bantamweight and featherweights are pretty good. A lot more stamina, cardio from the fighters.
That's right. There is a bantam and featherweight now because they just decided to combine WEC into the fold, right?
Partially, yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Bantamweight, I think they just started. I think they're opening up a flyweight with. I can't remember all the fighters, but Demarcus Johnson, Mighty Mouse, is going to go in a tournament for that, so that should be good.
That should be good.
I don't know who to pick here. I'm just going to go with my regular. I was playing as Carlos Condit, who just recently got the interim welterweight title against Nick Diaz.
Nice. That was a good fight.
That was all right. He executed his game plan. I don't think it was a good fight, but
I think any fight that the fighter wins that you want is a good fight.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's go ahead and watch the intro for this fight too.
For sure. So it's pretty much like a lot of the openings for the pay-per-view. This looks like more like a like it says Fight Night Live, so maybe a Fox or used to be Spike.
Spike, yep. Our tale of the tape. Oh, you skipped it, so it doesn't show him walking out of their.
Oh, this is a title defense. I can show you it later.
Okay.
So, or not title defense. What's it called? Title fight row. So,
it looks like they got the sponsors back, which is pretty nice. I mean, or I should say they've adapted the real UFC sponsors into the game.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of recognizable UFC sponsors.